We have with us Nami Zarringhalam, co-founder and chief strategy officer of Truecaller. Hi Nami.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Truecaller is basically into caller ID and spam detection services. How do you continue to innovate to provide reliable and accurate data without breaching privacy?
It's a very important question, and in fact, we've been addressing it ever since inception. So, from the beginning, you've been able to participate and use Truecaller, and at the same time, you've been able to edit your information, remove your information, download your information, do basically it's your data and you control it. So all of these pieces have existed in the service from the beginning, and recently, as we're seeing the new data privacy law come in, it's part of these kind of expectations are there for companies to abide to as well, and we've been doing it since inception, which is like 2010.
India is the largest market. You have the largest revenue coming out of India, Truecaller.
Mm.
How do you continue to evolve your services in alignment with the data protection laws of the country?
So we've tried to always stay at least one step ahead. So for instance, when there was a regulatory requirement, or even in the fintech space, a regulation that you should be storing your data within Indian borders, in data centers in India. We were actually compliant to that even 2 years before. So we've been trying to stay ahead, and in reality, the benefit that it gives us is the same benefit that we give to our consumers, and we just pass it on. The fact that we store the data in India, for instance, allows us to give a much quicker and better experience to our Indian consumers, which would not be possible if we would keep the data, for instance, in data centers in the US, because then they have to traverse the Atlantic before the Indian consumer was able to use it. So these are some of the benefits that we see and pass on to our Indian consumers, and they're built with privacy, security, and trust as kind of part of the design of the service.
Truecaller's introduced some new AI features. Could you please tell us more about that and some new ones that the consumers can expect?
Yeah, absolutely. We're very excited. We launched late last year. We launched our Truecaller Assistant, which is a AI that you can kind of send your calls to. So if there's an incoming call, you don't know who it is, but you're maybe having dinner with your family, you don't want to be interrupted. So you don't answer the call or immediately just pass it on to the assistant. And the assistant will pick up the call. It will screen what the person is saying, ask them who they are, why they're calling, and as the person on the other end replies, it will actually flash on your screen. And at that point you can decide, is this important so that I need to interrupt my family dinner, or can this wait? So that's one of the features. We also have our AI call recording, which basically records calls and then summarizes them, which we've seen is very important for some of our users who are, for instance, within real estate or within business, doing a lot of business, and they want to remember being able to go back, seeing, what did we agree on, what was said, these kind of things. So our AI call recorder actually summarizes and it makes them searchable in a very nice and neat way. So these are some of the features that we have already been developing and are available to our consumers even today. And then there's new ones coming where we'll be really doubling down and focusing on being able to capture AI bots with malicious intent. So scammers, frauders, these kind of cases where you're using AI, synthetic voices. And so those are areas we think are going to grow when it comes to spamming and scamming and fraudsters. And we started to invest in that area since 2 years back. and this year we're going to start to actually ship some of those products that we developed.
If I were to quickly ask you to define your leadership style in 3 words, what would those be?
That was a surprising question. My leadership style, I think a lot of people would say, is extremely open. I share a lot, whether it's personal or like from my personal life, what's going on, to what I see and I hear and I think throughout the company and the industry. And secondly is that I'm very family oriented, so try to treat everyone as family and create this belonging. And the third one is that I have very little patience when I feel like time is ticking and I feel rushed. And at that point, I try to get the team fired up, get everyone to rally around one cause and run towards that cause. So those are 3 things that I do very well, I think.
Thank you so much, Nami.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.